Hello my beautiful butterflies, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Beverley and it is lovely to see you today. In this video we're going to be talking about ways that you can deepen your witchcraft practice, so grab that cup of tea, let's get to it. So I found that when I wanted to start deepening my witchcraft practice from beginner level, that there wasn't a lot of sources out there. It's not like somebody makes a book for slightly deeper practice. It's like beginners, and then there seems to be nothing, and then there's like really high ceremonial magic, but there's nothing kind of in between. And that's because everybody goes in a different direction. You like start off learning the basics together, and then you just kind of ping off into your own interests. So I thought today I'd do a little video about how I've deepened my practice, how I've started to get a little bit, you know, deeper. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. Don't forget, if you are new here, you can click the subscribe button to become part of the butterfly family. We would love to have you here. Leave me a little cheeky like and a comment, but let's do this. So the first tip I have is to look at the sources in books. Most books, if you get them, here's my book. This is The Magical History of Britain, but in the back you will quite often find a bibliography with all the books listed that the author has found or read or quoted in the book. So if you find a piece of a book that you're really into and you're really interested in, always check the back. It'll usually have like a little number or a star and a little footnote, but usually you can find in good witchcraft books a bibliography at the back so that you can then look up things that interest you, and usually those books that have influenced that book will be deeper practice. This is a really great way as well if you're, say for example, researching a deity and you find a little bit about your deity in the book. Sometimes they'll have like a bibliography at the back with more information, and that's how you can start to deepen your practice. You can also find this on Wikipedia. Do be careful on Wikipedia because anybody can edit it, but they do have the little numbers that are all through with the Wikipedias, and they are quite good for then clicking on and getting to the next page. But always make sure you double research in Wikipedia because anyone can update it, and so you don't always know if it's the truth. So just a little footnote there. But yes, always check your books if they've got a bibliography. Have a look through the back, see if any titles really grab you and interest you, because it's a really wonderful way of getting more information. The next one is to research your interests. So usually when you start practicing, you start finding the things that interest you. It might be that you really love candle magic, or you're really into working with the sea and you live by the sea and you really want to learn more. For me, it's things like collecting plants and rocks. I love tea, and so I'd love to get into making my own tea, and tasseomancy, which is reading tea leaves, things like that. Start finding what interests you, and if you're not sure, if you like a bit of everything, start to think back of the things that you loved as a little child, because usually the things that you were into as a little kid will be the things that you'll be into now as an adult. It's really strange. It's like we're all naturally drawn to the magic around us, and then it's kind of taken out of us because of social conditioning or whatever. And then when you start to think about, oh yeah, when I was a kid, I was always making potions and things. I was always getting like bits of leaves and twigs and flowers and making like tea with it, and I was always collecting stones and rocks. So that's basically what my practice has become. It's just go back to how you were as a child, ask around, ask people who were around you if it's possible, and find out the things that you were into when you were really little. But those are the things that you should start to research and start to look up, start to find out more about, because they're your natural interests. And a lot of the time you won't find a book specifically on crystals or rocks, but you might find a geology book that gives you a lot more information for, say, a science course. So you might be surprised it's not all going to be witchcraft books that you start to read, and that might shock you to hear, but yeah, not everything is witchcraft, and no. What I'm trying to say is there's magic in everything, and so people write about science or write about whatever, and you'll find, you know, in old cooking books or whatever, that it starts to come into your practice. So that is a really good tip. I hope that made sense. The next one is to do online courses. I have this year been really diving into online courses. I've done a couple of courses on Udemy. I'll leave a link to it. I'm not sponsored by any of this. It's just, I like their courses. I've done one on tarot, and I've started one about herbalism. And then I'm doing a course through one of my favourite authors. He's done a course about connecting with angels. And also, what's the other course? Oh, I've done a couple of courses on Skillshare, which you'll hear a lot of YouTubers talking about Skillshare at the moment. A lot of them are getting sponsored by them. So definitely have a look around. You might be surprised where you find witchcraft courses. But also keep a lookout for your favourite authors, your favourite bloggers, your favourite YouTubers. All sorts of people do courses on the things that they're interested in. And by supporting those creators, by supporting those people, you're also deepening your craft, because you're learning a lot more about the things that you're interested in. The next thing is to watch and read, and this kind of seems really obvious, but watching TV shows like you'd be surprised the amount of spiritual and witchcraft shows are on Amazon Prime, on Netflix, on Gaia. Gaia is one of my favourite channels. It's a bit like Netflix but for witchcraft and spiritual things. And YouTube, of course. Get watching, start reading magazines and blogs, and yeah, supporting creators is so important, but also it's a way of gathering knowledge from lots of different places. And so if you can pick up like a 20-minute program on Netflix or on Amazon Prime or Gaia, or a little 10-minute video on YouTube, you'd be surprised how much of it sinks in. Just if you're like cleaning, put a podcast, start a witchy podcast or something, and you'd be very, very surprised how much of it starts to sink into you. And you can pick up so much information from other people. Especially, you know, we're really lucky nowadays. We have the internet. Imagine what it would have been for witches in the past. Solitary witches would have struggled to get information. Whereas now, it's everywhere. We have books, blogs, YouTube videos, documentaries, you name it, it's all out there. We're in an incredible place at the moment for finding out information. So get out there, try lots of different places, have a look round. Podcasts are amazing for witchcraft, and there are loads on YouTube. So definitely look around, be open-minded as to where you look, and just start gathering those things. I can also do some videos about the TV shows that I found on Netflix or Amazon or wherever. I can do that. If you'd like me to do that, just let me know down in the comments. And lastly, and this seems really obvious, but witchcraft is a practice. It's something, you're not born able to do these things. You're taught it either by family or by teaching yourself. And it's a practice. You're never gonna know everything, because magic is in everything. So practicing daily is my last tip. If you're gonna be reading, if you're gonna be lighting candles for your deities, writing in your grimoire, researching, doing it every single day and getting into a good place with your magic is going to deepen your practice so much, because you learn so much by doing it daily. You might find, oh, I've been pulling one card of tarot for months now. I'm going to try 3. I'm going to try a spread every day. I'm going to try this every day. And before you know it, you've started deepening your practice, your understanding. You're starting to get more information from around you. If you do all of these things, you're definitely going to find your daily practice becomes more involved and becomes more fulfilling. So all of these things together, you're going to get such a good practice going. You're going to feel so much more confident as a witch, and your magic and your spells are going to do so much better. So I definitely want to just do this video to encourage you to deepen your practice when you feel ready. It's not like you're going to be, you know, I've been practicing for 3 years and now I'm a specialist. it's the rest of your life is going to be witchcraft. And as soon as you start deepening your practice and getting a bit more involved in the subjects that really give you passion, the more your life is going to start going upwards, because you're giving magic into the world and you're going to get it back. I really hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to head down below and leave it a cheeky little like, so I know that you enjoyed it and I can bring more like this to the channel in future. I really hope that you did like it. I love talking about these things. So if you've got any ideas, anything you'd like me to talk more about, anything you want me to do videos on, or you know, if you just want to say hello, leave me a comment down below. I would absolutely love that, because I love talking to my butterfly family. And last but definitely not least, if you like my and last but definitely not least, if you like my content, if you like my face, don't forget to head down below, hit that little subscribe button, ring that little bell so you always know when I upload. I'm usually here Mondays and Fridays, my health permitting. I always do my very best to be here with you every week, twice a week. I hope you're doing well, stay safe, and I will see you next time. Bye!